Hey guys, yeah, it's me, the dude who talks, and I'm finally getting around to doing a video for you all. Thank you so much for your patience. So, as you well know, and probably watch this channel a lot, that I obviously talk about gigs. Now, I try to talk about as many gigs as I possibly can that I go to, but there's some gigs that I don't have the time to talk about, or whether I just like forget to take notes on the night, and yeah, I just don't do a video on them. So I figured, for a change, that I would do a slight roundup of the gigs that I went to last month, which I didn't really do a video on. So yeah, just like a quick bite size, like talking about them. And if people like this format, I might include it a little bit more monthly. So yeah, I hope you like it. Okay, so I'm going to start this off with a band called Earth Tongue. This gig was advertised on Facebook at, I think, Castle Hotel. I actually clicked interested, but I actually had no intention of going. It just looked interesting, and I thought, should I go? But a day later, my friend noticed that I clicked interested on it, and he's like said, "Oh, I checked them out, and they're actually pretty decent." So that prompted me to check them out myself. And yes, the band in question are called Earth Tongue, and they're like this two-piece heavy psychedelic rock band from New Zealand. And after checking out their album on YouTube as well, I think Stone Meadow of Doom have it on their channel. I thought, oh, this is really good. So I figured, you know what, I'll take the hit and get a ticket. And yeah, it was really good. Really impressive live. I like the dynamic between the two vocalists. There's a guitarist who does vocals and the drummer who does a bit more aggressive vocals as well as singing. I thought it was really cool. There was even a pit at one point. Though I can't remember much of the support band. They sounded psychedelic and I just thought they were alright, but they were a bit boring. But anyway, Earth Tongue were really good, and just if you wait 1 second, I actually been playing the album which they had for sale. I was quite kind of lucky because they were saying like they sold out of this record online and stuff. So they had some with them on tour, and it was 15 quid as well. So yeah, that was Earth Tongue. Do check them out. That album's called Floating Being. It's on Spotify, and it's also on YouTube as well. If you don't have any money to buy the album, which is fair enough. So alright then. Okay, so the next gig that I want to talk to you about is relates to a yearly festival in Manchester. It's called the MIF. It hosts loads of like interesting events relating to music, art, and film. A few years ago, I went to a part of it where Sun was actually playing at Manchester Ritz. That was absolutely sublime. So, as I'm getting to the point, David Lynch was part of the was one of the curators of the festival, and I'm a massive fan of David Lynch. I really wanted to go to the meditation thing that he was holding as well. That literally sold out at Manchester Home. But anywho, he also organised a show with These New Puritans, Christabel, and White Horses. Now, I read the description on Manchester Home and it looked really interesting. Mention that These New Puritans were going to be like performing some songs from like David Lynch's like film catalogue kind of thing. So my interest was piqued. So what was the performance like exactly? It was very like Lynchian. I'm not going to use that term very often because I kind of sound like a hipster saying it, but it was very much like set up for his films. It was like Christabel came on to introduce it, and there was this kind of like static behind her, and as she was talking about a gateway to music and all these things, it then opened up with like White Horses, which I thought were quite enjoyable. I wouldn't go out and say they were absolutely amazing, but they were like, yeah, they were alright. Kind of like the typical like dream pop kind of alternative indie sound. And also Christabel joined in with them as well for a couple of songs. There was even a moment where there was like two guys just prancing around in, you know, like though in stereotypical like drama shows like in Shakespeare time, where they have them like prancing in like Victorian outfits and like weird drama masks. It was a bit like that, where they just prance around. I think it was like to make it look like it was a dream. But yeah, they finished and it was Christabel to do a full set. And this time I was quite happy because I saw Christabel earlier this year. I think she's an absolute dream. The thing was, I was happy because I was going to be sober this time, because last time I watched her I was a complete mess. Alcohol wise, I was like completely drunk. So it was good to actually enjoy a set soberish this time. I did have a couple, but you know, yeah, Christabel's sound was absolutely amazing. Her voice is absolutely incredible. I find it absolutely sensual as well. Just the way she talks as well in between songs. But yeah, the main fact was These New Puritans came on next, and like I said, I hadn't really checked them out prior, but what was really cool was that they played a couple of songs by Angelo Badalamenti. If you know who he is, he collaborates on David Lynch a lot with some of it on the music side of things with him. I remembered that they played Sycamore Trees, which is on the Fire Walk With Me soundtrack. Obviously, they played some of their own songs as well from the new album, which I thought was really cool. There was a guy on a saxophone as well, I think. I have slept since then, I do apologise, but there was like a cool like brass section towards it. And I felt it was really interesting. It was a really cool, unique show. And I also like, because it was like a seated gig as well, it felt better, because if it was like all standing, I just don't think I would have been into it, because my legs would have just hurt and I would have just got grumpy. But yeah, I did really enjoy it, and I did actually pick up These New Puritans' latest album on vinyl. You know, that's what I do. Axe. So yeah, I'm talking about the Neurosis gig in London last month. I finally got to see Neurosis. Hell, it's only taken me like 10 years to finally go watch them. I would have loved to have seen them at, what was it, the Supersonic Festival in Birmingham. That lineup looked really awesome, but you know, I'm glad that they managed to do a solo date in London at the Forum in Kentish Town, which surprisingly looks a lot like Manchester Apollo. But yeah, managed to get into for the first support band, which was the Almighty Yob. I think the first two songs, I didn't get quite into them. I don't know. I think there were songs that weren't really familiar with, but still crushingly heavy. Standard Yob, obviously. But what really did it for me is obviously Our Raw Heart, because, you know, as heavy and ugly, grim Yob's music is, they're really capable of some like beautiful songs which can have you crying. So yeah, next after that was Godflesh, which really surprised me because I didn't expect them to be that good. I've seen them once before and I thought, yeah, they were alright. But they had a really strong stage presence, and the songs were like fucking heavy. But they also had this kind of like, obviously because they're an industrial band, they've got like this kind of like dancey side to them. And yeah, I just wanted to dance, well, as one would dance at a show like that. You know, anywho, Neurosis, Kinel, what can I say about them other than they really did an absolute epic set. I genuinely thought they were just going to be on for like 45 minutes and just go, yeah, bye, fuck off, kind of thing. But no, they were on for like nearly like an hour and a half. Opened up with I think A Sun That Never Sets, and they were just playing like nearly like a selection through all the like albums. It was it. God, struggling to find words, man. It It was a brilliant set, very heavy. It was good to see like a huge dynamic between Scott Kelly and Stephen Till. What else can I say? Yeah, if you wanted to be there but you couldn't, I'm sorry, guys, you missed out. So glad I can tick off Neurosis of bands that I've not yet seen, so yeah. Though, before I move on to the next gig, I want to do a little whinge. There was, at Neurosis, there was this like really like drunk dickhead right in front of us. Fucking hell, it's just like, he was in a state, and I think he was just annoying everybody in front of him who just wanted to watch Neurosis. And also what I found was like, he just like, these guys came up to him and just held up a key right up to his nose, and he just casually sniffed something. And I just thought, okay, alright, that's how it's done. That's how it's done. But, yeah, he was just being a drunk dickhead, and I'm just having a whinge because it just kind of annoyed me, and it annoyed my friends, and like I said. But anywho, only a small moan. Okay, so this is going to be the last gig I'm going to talk about on this video. So, yeah, this was courtesy of a friend who sold me his ticket because he couldn't go, because he wanted to watch wrestling instead. But, you know, shit happens. I'm always happy to go to a gig, no matter what it is. So, it was for Rosalie Cunningham. And if you don't know who she is, she was the lead singer of a now defunct band called Person. Now, I did feel a little bit out of place because I've not really heard much of Person's stuff apart from one album. Though I did check out her debut album, which has just been released, and I quite enjoyed it, so I figured not going to be that bad. So yeah, it was at the Night People, which is a cool venue. Really good ales and really good sound. So, yeah, the support band weren't really my cup of tea. There were some bits that I liked about them. There was like an inclusion of a flute, and there was like, I think there was like one song that sounded like it could fit in like a 70s Gallo film. But yeah, it was alright. And I've totally forgot the name of the support band, so if you're watching this, I'm really, really sorry. I'm a shit dude who talks. But yeah, Rosalie Cunningham was on next, and I thought she had an absolutely amazing voice. I did really enjoy the set. Played Fuck Love, which is, I think, my favourite song on the album. I also liked the last song that they played, which is like quite a really long song, and they joked about how difficult it was to play live, but they wanted to do it anyway. Yeah, and one thing that I noticed was Rosalie was like, when she was looking at the guitarist and when she was playing her guitar, and she had these like these kind of fierce eyes, and I just kept thinking, find someone who looks at you the way Rosalie does when she's playing guitar. And I just thought, yep. But yeah, it was a really cool gig. I was gutted that I couldn't watch the last song because, Obviously, you know, you watch these videos. Shit public transport. But alright, so there you have it. That was my roundup of the gigs that I hadn't had a chance to talk about in July. Did you go to any of them gigs? Please let me know down below in the comment section. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like or maybe subscribe to this channel. It really helps out. My next video should be up this weekend, hopefully. It's either going to be about Russian circles or maybe it might be me reviewing some new music. So yeah, hopefully you'll want to stick around for that. So all I've got left to say to you guys is that I've been the dude who talks. You guys have been absolutely fucking awesome, and I shall see you soon. Still here. Alright, well the video's ended, but while you're still here, I'll just let you know there's videos to the left and right of me. So, yeah, get watching if you want. Talk about cool shit like music and live stuff where I go to gigs, talk about Vinyl Hall and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, fill your boots.